A new store mount is here, but this one is kind of special. It is the first Legion-themed mount. That has me somewhat worried, but first of all, it is a real beauty. I mean, whatever artist made this can pat themselves on the back, because what they've created is truly a beautiful piece of art. Now, I know not everyone enjoys topics like this, but I think it's very important not to stay silent when you think something is damaging. Now, with Warlords of Draenor, we got a lot of store mounts that would perfectly fit in the game, just like how the Cloud Serpents, Nether Rays, and Nether Drakes did in times gone by. The Fey Dragon is a Draenei mount, the Grinning Reaver is a Laughing Skull Orc mount, the Sky Reaver is an Orc mount as well, and so on and so forth. At the same time, we saw quite a few recolors of our in-game mounts as well. Now, this wouldn't be that bad if we had a fair few factions with their own unique mounts. I think the difference between having a reskinned generic mount and a faction having its own unique one is a really important aspect of the game. If the Arakoa gave you a unique-looking Arakoa mount, then that would be a special reason to do that reputation. But apparently the Arakoa just ride generic boars and talbooks. That's fine if you're really into those, but not everyone is. The Laughing Skull Orcs offer a wolf mount, rather than the Grinning Reaver, which is literally wearing a laughing skull. In the Burning Crusade, the Kuurnai were special because they were the people who raised talbooks. That was their thing. They didn't just throw a reskin of another mount at you. If Netherwing just gave you another color of Griffin, would it be as exciting? During the Warlords of Draenor beta, I pointed out the situation with the Fey Dragons and the Sky Reavers. A lot of people called bullshit on me, and they defended Blizzard, and they said that more unique mounts would be added to the game, and it was just very early on the beta. Well, how did that turn out? I will be very interested to count the number of unique mount models that we get in Warlords of Draenor. Nearly every mount in this expansion is a reskin or a remodel of something else, bar the ones in the store. Holding back the unique mounts from the game and putting them on the store means that those unique mounts really stand out in the world, and there's a financial incentive not to add those unique mounts to reputations. Why do the Arakoa people give us an unrelated mount? Why do the Laughing Skull give us a wolf? Well, it's because they're plebeian mounts, and if you want something nice, you're going to have to cough up the dough. Having in-game rewards be rubbish, I think, is to the detriment of the game's quality. It is bad design, and it's also a large fuck you to paying subscribers. This isn't a one-off purchase or free-to-play game, and personally I would like to think that having lots of good reward content in the game would help to drive people to subscribe more and stay subscribed for longer, which would hopefully be the most sound long-term strategy. Sure, they're making an absolute killing with World of Warcraft at the minute, but they're really churning subscribers, and churn leads to burnout. World of Warcraft is shifting to have rewards that are very much based on cosmetic value. For many people, winning constitutes getting a great transmog or an epic mount. So what they are doing is they're undercutting an element of the game for many players. Now, of course, this isn't the only reason why people would unsubscribe or anything like that, but can you be surprised that people leave when things like this happen more and more? So this all brings us to the Legion and the Moose. One of the first creatures that we saw in the Legion trailer was this moose, and people were really hyped about it. They seem to be very integral to that zone's wildlife and very much a part of the expansion's world. Are we going to see the same situation repeat itself, where numerous creatures and things native to the world of the Broken Isles are going to essentially be walking store mount adverts? Now, the truth of it is that we have only just heard an announcement, and it isn't fair or objective to base judgment on hypotheticals. All we have is the precedent of Warlords of Draenor that was set, and an early appearance of them perhaps repeating that. So I'll say this much. I find it really concerning, and I don't think it's for the best of the game. When we find ourselves a month or two after launch, when we have decent gear, and are looking to do other things, I would love the option to work on a few really fun reputations that give you a really unique and exciting mount that's a real badge of honor, that states that you have done something cool in the game, that you've accomplished something. As much as I love raiding, I also love to have other fun things to do outside of raiding. Mounts and reps used to be a pretty large part of that, and I hope they can be again in the future. That brings us on to another topic that I would like to cover here: store mounts for WoW tokens. This would give people a way to earn those mounts via gameplay, which I think would be at least a step up from the current system. Now, a WoW token earns Blizzard $5 over a regular sub fee, but a token that's used to purchase a mount wouldn't give anyone any game time, so it's hard to say what that pricing would be, perhaps 2 tokens. That would make them expensive in terms of gold, but at least they would help to keep people playing by actually providing an in-game reward. Of course, I'd rather we just had more unique content like the reps that were surrounding these mounts, but perhaps something like this would go down well? I'm not sure myself, so what do you think about that? And I'm going to close this video on a final thought. Once Blizzard tried to sell transmogrification helms. They still do, but they said it was too much. A long time ago, they said the same about store mounts. Legion is adding artifacts, with varying skins being one of the key features. I don't think they will sell skins personally, but it wouldn't be a massive mental leap to say that they might. So that's it for today's video. I've got some far more happy, bright, and sunny videos coming out in the very near future that I'm currently working on. They should be a lot of fun. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.